Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome back. So we're moving ahead with the library build. The next step is building would be the base cabinet or the lower section of the bookcase. So what I like to do, I got a couple sheets of plywood and I like to put down at least 2 coats of semi-gloss white paint because that's the color they're going to be. I think it's easier if I can do it to one solid sheet of plywood and then go back on my cut sheet and get down to the individual pieces. Yeah, I could waste a little bit of paint, but I am using a lot of the plywood, so I think it's beneficial to do it now before you're trying to paint inside the cabinet and try to get to all the corners and things like that. So I'm gonna make the cuts outside, try to keep the dust down in the shop, bring the cut pieces in here, and then do the final cuts on the table saw here with either the miter saw or the table saw itself. So stay tuned. Okay, so one of the first things I like to start with is the face frame of a cabinet. In this case, I'm not going to be using the plywood. I already had select pine that I already put 2 coats of semi-gloss white on. I cut them down to the lengths I needed for the face frame, and I'm putting it together using the Craig jig. Now the wood I'm using is select pine. I don't like using any wood that has knots in it, especially if I'm be painting the furniture. In this case, I got semi-gloss white, so the knots would eventually bleed through. You could use a shellac-based primer. I've put 2 coats of shellac-based primer on some other furniture and some other casing that I had, and the knots still bleed through, so I try to stay away from anything with knots. In this case, select pine or poplar would work fine. I'm using the Craig jig to put the frame together. You can also use a biscuit joiner or any other method of joinery. They all work the same. I like starting with the face frame because then I have my outside dimensions defined, and then I can just put on the sides and then the bottom, and then the cabinet's going to be pretty much finished right after that. Okay, as you can tell, we got the base cabinet all put together. I like making the face frame first, as you can tell from before. It's just easier to put the sides up afterwards, using the pocket jigs to put everything together. Now the only thing that's left to do is to put I have a 1/4 inch piece of plywood, and I'm going to be putting a backer right on the cabinet there. So let's do that now. For this, I'm going to be using finishing nails. They're 20 gauge and about 1 inch thick, so it should be enough to hold on this back. Okay, so we finished building one base cabinet. There's a few more that we have to make. I'm not going to show building all of them. I think you did it with just one. In another video, we're making the doors for all the cabinets, as well as the shelf and the holes to make the shelves adjustable. Once all these cabinets are in place, we're going to be putting in a countertop, and it's just going to span the cabinets all together. So thanks for watching this video on this, and stay tuned for other videos.